Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, beautiful viewers. If you are returning, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so blessed, so grateful that you can make your way here again today. And if you are new, welcome to the channel. You guys are all very safe and welcome here in this space with me today. So you clicked on this video. Clearly the messaging here was something that you were interested in. I understand this might not be a reading for everybody. We are looking at past lives, and how is that impacting you in your current life? Okay, so what are the influences? Past traumas potentially, or just whatever has happened in the past here that is impacting you either in a positive way, or maybe it's hindering you for whatever reason, or it's something you're having to overcome. So this could be anywhere in regards to your career, your personal life, your relationships, however you navigate. Maybe you're trying to sort through something and you're not quite sure what the driving force or influencer is behind your decisions or lack thereof. So it will be an interesting reading, and I cannot wait to get into what this looks like. So for option one, we have the pyrite pyramid. Beautiful. Option number two, we have the onyx tower. All right. You guys can see that. Option number three, we have the red jasper pyramid. So I'll let you guys sit with this energy. Please, please, please use your intuition here, because there's no way for me to confirm that this message is for you. It's either going to resonate with what's coming through here, but I do ask that you come up with something you will see, feel, or hear to confirm that this reading is for you. And like I said, if it's not your message, then you might have a different pile. Or maybe there is no message here for you today, and that's absolutely fine. Whoever needs to hear this will most likely find this reading. All right, so I will see you guys at your pick. The timestamps are in the description box and in the pinned comment below. It will take you directly to your pick. I'll see you there. Hello, my gorgeous pile one. You picked the pyrite pyramid, and it's absolutely beautiful. We're looking at your past life or your past lives, okay, depending on how this comes through, but it doesn't necessarily have to be your very last life. It's just whatever is having the most influence on your current life right here, right now. So maybe it's a trauma of the past, or maybe it's something that is helping you excel in an area of your life. And there could be certain areas or aspects of your life that are heavily influenced by your experience or your past. Okay, so it could be in your personal life, in your professional life. However this comes up, we will take a look, and maybe it will give you a sense of direction, or at least some understanding of where you might be held up or where your strengths may lie. Okay, so I'm super excited to see what comes through. Please use your intuition, okay, because there's no way for me to confirm to you that this indeed is your pile. So this one, it should obviously resonate for you, but if you want to come up with something you will see, feel, or hear in this reading that's going to confirm to you that this is indeed your message, is the best way to develop your intuition. All right, so let's get looking. So we have the planets, the sun, oh my goodness, source energy, the creation of, the gaining of respect for or from, and things brought to life or light. This is a divine masculine energy. It's a very empowered energy. Sun, beautiful. We have 14, or the number 5, truth be told. We have a mask and an owl. Owl's always about wisdom, knowledge. And then we have an open window here. a bunch of falling hearts, confetti hearts, and a gold mask. Truth be told. Okay. We have rest and rejuvenation, number 19, or the number 10. Rest and rejuvenation. An owl. Interesting. Look at that. So air energy coming through. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. For those of you guys needing sign confirmation. Leo's also coming through here with the sun. I'm also feeling Aries energy coming with the sun as well. Okay. We have Swan. Beautiful. So water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The Swan has a reflection here. Swans are very graceful. Swans are very much in the creative space, in the heart space. We have stepping into stillness. My power is born in the majesty of silence. Moon. Moon is divine feminine. And we have a clock tower here in the background. My power is born in the majesty of silence. Stepping into stillness. Rest and rejuvenation. Swans are also quite peaceful and still. Okay, so flowers. Working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. Wow. Now we're not going to put too much weight in these past life cards or life purpose cards. It's going to be energy that comes through as a whole. All right. Of course, unless something is something you're taking literal here, then that's absolutely fine, but we'll see what energy comes through. So we have food, nourishment, relationships, and health. So we have a pineapple, some cheese, an avocado, bread loaf, a pomegranate, some green grapes, strawberries, blueberries, and I don't know what this leafy stuff is, lettuce, radishes or beets, and carrots on a cutting board. Food, nourishment, relationships, and health. Rest and rejuvenation. Okay, trees. Oh my goodness. Look at that sun coming through again. Beautiful sun energy here. Trees, that's all about health. That's also our family lineage. Trees, and we have the arts. And beautiful. A guitar and a piano here. And we have autumn. And this is the number 19. And we have 19 coming out twice. So 19, 19 are the number 10. Okay. Autumn is all about the harvest. Okay. We have jellyfish. Right. And we have guide. Light attribute represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Shadow attribute says places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insights. We have the prostitute. Light attribute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirits. And the shadow attribute places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. All right. We have the sailor with new influences and wanderlust. Cat for everywhere. We have two fish here giving me heavy Pisces energy. Fish are all about abundance. These look like koi fish. And then we have a sailboat here. And more sun in the background. Turbulent seas. Travel coming through very strong here. And then we have number 3 with the starborn. Oh my goodness, starborn. We have an egg about to hatch. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Starborn. Okay, this is a very powerful card indeed. Let me just not look like a big pigsty here. So that you guys can see. Let me see. Splendoroni. All right. Beautiful. Pile 1. I wasn't sure how these readings would come out, but I love this energy that I feel here. Just let me get a sip of my tea. I'm going to just sit with this for a little bit, okay? And then I'm going to communicate what comes through here. And if there's any question marks or more needed, I will pull the tarot. And hopefully I could keep these readings fairly short. So I like to go on and on and on about it. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay. So I know we're talking about past life here, okay? In here, I'm not necessarily going to get what your past life was so much. And I thought I'd see some of that, but the question that I asked Spirit, which makes sense how this came out, was how is your past life experiences and your past lives impacting you in your current life? Like what exactly is happening in your current life that might be stalled or influenced heavily by your past life? And what I see here is somebody here, okay, your energy that is impacted here, because I feel as though you are an open soul that's potentially just very free here, okay? Like I wouldn't be surprised if you love gardening, if you've been called a hippie here with the trees. You might like camping, you might be very connected to nature. I feel like a very heavy earth energy here. Gardening, health, nutrition, meditation, that's sort of an energy here, but also a very creative person. So you might like music, or to create art, or to create, like you have an artist's eye, so you might create gardens with your artistic eye. You might incorporate that with how you prepare your food. You might be a chef here, okay, and you might be very specific with the types of foods here that are in line with health, or certain herbs that provide certain nourishment to feed the soul. And I just feel here like there is a very select niche here of what you actually enjoy doing that I feel brings you a lot of joy. Although I feel like this is something that you've always kind of been attached to, and not attachment in a negative way, but attached to as in a desire to, because it's something that influences you. Although I feel like this hasn't been something that you've been doing for a living, okay? I don't feel this is something you're doing for a living. So this might come through in certain aspects of your daily life, but I feel like it's not something that you are embracing fully. Like I don't feel as though if you're, a chef here, or a chef, I say if you prepare food, you're probably not a chef that spends all day making food in your own restaurant here or for a living, okay? If you love gardening and nature here, I don't feel like you have your own sort of landscaping gardening business or anything like that. I feel like this is something you do on the side. If you like to play music, I don't feel like you're like, a musician who is doing that for a living and touring the whole world here as a famous musician. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not, or don't have the ability to be. And that's what this message here is that you're at a point in your life here where I feel like whatever you are doing is pretty much almost ran its course. So I do feel as though you are in a period of transition. So if you're still doing the same thing, energetically, your heart is no longer in what it is that you're doing. I don't know. You guys could be doing a whole bunch of different things. You might be lawyers, doctors, construction workers, janitors, retail workers. I don't know. Whatever it is that you're doing might have served a purpose in your life, and it is no longer speaking to you. And it might have not have spoke to you so much, but there was a doing of this in order to pay bills, in order to just obviously fit into what you were needing to move on with your life. So what the message here is showing is that life has really been sort of putting you in situations here in which you were kind of partaking, although I don't feel as though you were making active choices here in leading with where your passion lies, because like I feel it really is around nature, gardening, you feel one with trees, plants, herbs, food, and there is a heavy creative energy here. Okay, so this opens the door to a lot of possibility, because you could be incorporating an artistic twist to how you're preparing food, or how you're designing, your gardens, and making like I don't know, like a flower business. I mean, I don't know what sort of careers here could incorporate this, but there's a whole crap load. Okay, health food stores, and wildlife researchers working with wildlife and select species of plants and trees. So anyway, not my forte. I mean, I love nature, but walking in nature, I don't know so much about this. However, I do feel it very, very strongly that is what you're supposed to be doing. So right now you're in a period of wrapping up a big phase in your life here, okay? And I think you can no longer ignore your calling, because your calling is pulling you towards doing what your whole purpose is. And so obviously it takes us getting empowered, making the decision to wrap up anything in our life here that no longer feels like it's filling our soul, and then to make the decision towards putting energy towards something that we feel is more in line with who we are. So this Starborn is absolutely the most spectacular card we could possibly get in this reading, because this is somebody here who naturally falls into place and gets all the recognition, all the reward, and is recognized for what it is that they specialize in. So if you're an athlete, you become the most famous athlete of whatever it is. If you're a swimmer, then you're the gold medal winner of whatever Olympic season. Like, this is your star. Okay, you are a star in your field, but I don't feel you've experienced your field, because you've been involved here with things that have slowly pulled you into it, just like most people here, the Matrix. Okay, so I do feel like for a lot of you guys, there's a couple of messages coming through here with this Sailor card. Now, if it's not about you having to travel to do what it is that you want, I feel like what Spirit is really telling me with this is you might have to experience different aspects of your passion and your desire before it clicks into the thing that actually happens for you. Okay, so for example, you might really like flowers. Okay, it could be herbs or a specific flower or whatever, the gardening, like I said, or gardening certain food. That might be a thing, but then it might turn into, like I said, opening up a health store or a food place here that, I don't know, prepares food differently than the world has seen in some sort of creative way, or however you incorporate it. But I feel like there is a dabbling here of different aspects of this, of yourself, in order for you to find the niche the purpose, the thing that actually really does speak to you here. Okay, and when you find that, I feel it takes off, and you are like the guru guide of what that is. So you lead others in a very profound way, and whatever the thing here is for you. Okay, so you might already have an idea of what you always kind of wanted to try or to do here, but maybe there was multiple branch offs, and Spirit is saying try, whatever starting point you have. And if it branches off to something else, then it branches off to something else. But there is a need for you to start in an area here that I feel you have the most knowledge of. Because I think, excuse me, that you have more understanding than you think you have. And I also feel like you might be a little bit too modest here, or passive in acknowledging this. So I feel like what the past life has done, whatever has happened in your past life, has given you the knowledge, has given you the experience, has given you whatever it is to succeed here as a superstar. This is the superstar card, to be born as a superstar in this field. But you don't even realize it yet. And maybe for some of you guys, maybe you've already kind of started, but you're not sure, or maybe you're questioning because maybe it's not, providing financially like your past job, or maybe you're considering, should I get a different job or a career, or do something here that's going to support me in my physical needs rather than keep pursuing what this is. And Spirit is saying, no, keep pursuing what this is, because this is something that is certainly going to pay it forward, that you're certainly going to reap the reward here. But as any garden or any sort of seed that we plant, it takes a while for us to pull the fruits of our labor, to see the reward of our efforts here. Two trees side by side. So I feel like not only is this going to make you feel like you're in line with your true calling and passion, and I feel like it is something here that's pulled from your past lives. You have a very innate experience here with this, an understanding or a knowledge that you might not know how you have it. And you might not even have tapped into this if you haven't explored this, because this is something that is just going to come to you and you're not even going to understand how you know. That's past life stuff. But I also feel like it's going to be something that is very, very solid. And it's going to stand the test of time. It's going to leave a legacy here for you and your family, your grandkids and their kids. And this is our ancestor tree and the tree of life. And so I feel like there's been an ignoring of this, because I feel like, like everyone else, we sometimes forget who we are and where we came from. But I feel like when I mentioned here kind of near the beginning is I feel like you're in a phase here where you can no longer ignore this calling. And so there is a need for you to really sit with looking at that passion or that thing that you actually enjoy doing, and you're not sure if you enjoy doing it as a life purpose. Maybe you're not sure if it's something you could make a career out of, but Spirit wants you to sit with that energy, and then Spirit wants you to get empowered here, because I feel like there is definitely a piece of history here of the past that is innately buried inside you that needs to be birthed into this world. You need to give this to the world. Create in this world. Lead in this world in that area. Okay, so if it takes you a little bit to sort through it, Spirit's saying that's fine, because one thing might bleed into the other and you might not be sure, and you might think you need, I don't know, like the exact concise map. But Spirit is saying start with what you feel already comfortable with here and allow it to transform how it does. That if you have to risk something here to take that chance, that it would make sense that you want all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. But Spirit's saying, no, take that chance of leaning into the thing that you know very well. But if it's not completely ironed out, the details, that's absolutely fine, because those details are going to change anyway. It's going to morph into something anyway. And then you're really going to give birth here to something that ends up being the thing. Okay? Sorry, I couldn't really do justice here with all of this beautiful... And I wonder why flowers keep coming through in my readings. I want to know who you are, beautiful flowers person, because I get a lot of flowers in my readings. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so, and like I said, flowers could be herbs, could be plants, gardening. Okay, nature. So, let's pull some tarot. I feel like this is the reading. I don't know that I did it so much justice, but it is the energy that I'm seeing. So I'm going to pull just some tarot here, and we're going to ask Spirit, what is it that pile 1 needs to know? What's going to help pile 1 in this sort of experience here? What do they need to know? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1, spirits. Anything I've missed, anything that will help, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. And thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I am truly, truly blessed. Thank you so, so much. We have the Ace of Swords, and we have the Two of Swords. I'm going to pull 2 more. And we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Three of Wands. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm going to cry. You guys are so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I feel such a gentle energy here about you, and I feel like, you know, how this has impacted you is because you've been living in, you know, someone else's world here that's been constructed. I mean, you've certainly constructed your world, but I feel like you feel almost like you have not yet have control in your life the way you're wanting. You're living someone else's sort of idea of who you should be and what you should be. So this is living in truth. This is us living in our authentic self and the purpose that we've been called here to do, not ignoring it, taking the power in our own hands, the truth, and allowing ourselves to act in truth. Despite what sort of adversity we might come against, despite maybe, you know, our mind telling us that certain things need to be in place. It's like we see the truth and we act in truth because we have no other course of action. So it's scary sometimes, you know, when we have to walk this path because we don't know, you know, outside of what we've lived. And sometimes we get stuck in the matrix because that is how we survive. So I feel like you've been looking, you know, or at least there's an understanding that there has to be something more. But that, I feel like, see how she's holding this sword and she's bleeding here, because I feel like there was a very stuck energy of being, I don't necessarily know if it's so much afraid, but if you were to embrace a truth here, if you were to get empowered to follow a truth, it'd be painful in some way, or that you'd risk something, or that there is suffering in this path. Okay, but I feel like you haven't been able to see clearly. And now you're going to see clearly, okay? Or at least this is what's impacting you, your past life and your experience here of what's happened to you. It's made you feel as though following a truth here would hurt you or would make you suffer in some way. And so Spirit is saying you might not be seeing it so clear. And I see this world here, and I'm getting travel again. So I don't know, that's coming through. Maybe you'd have to go to different places to do what it is that you're trying to create here. I don't know if it's such a fixed, you know, like a restaurant type thing, or just like, I feel like it's more of a transient energy that, I don't know, that goes around the world. You know, like, I don't know, if you're like a famous chef, like maybe you go to different restaurants and provide different sort of support here as a guide. Maybe you're, you know, a nature guide and you go to different parks or different places. So I feel there is that travel-y piece coming through again. So maybe that is something I missed here that Spirit's showing. And then Spirit is showing the other path, which is the fixed path, and that's the comfort zone path, and it's the path that doesn't let us expand. But it always feels more comfortable, because when we step outside of our comfort zone and choose the truth, it sometimes requires us to be brave. It sometimes requires us to go through uncomfortable things here. So Spirit is showing success here with this, okay? Because, well, this is the scene of the Six of Wands, because this is the Shuffle Tarot that I'm using, in case you guys are wondering why these cards look interesting. This is the Shuffle Tarot, so we have mixed scenes. This is the Two of Wands mixed with the Two of Swords, so it's the Two of Wands scene, but it's the two swords, okay? And this is all about a decision, a choice to be made. The Two of Wands is having to choose between, you know, our comfort zone and choosing a path that might be more difficult, but it is our dharma, it's our calling, it's our path. And the Two Swords is indecision, sitting at a stalemate. I was feeling you sitting, kind of waiting or not quite sure, and being kind of, you know, floating around here in someone else's world, not empowering self to fall into authenticity, fall into something you understand to be true of yourself. And we have more flowers here, roses, and I don't know if those are lilies, white flowers. Okay, and then this is the success card, because this is, again, public recognition. Okay, the Six of Wands, but it's the swords, and swords is moving away from strife. So I feel like you are in an environment currently, it could be your career or whatever you're doing day in, day out, is not speaking to you. And this is pulling you out of that, pulling you out of this sword, the comfort zone or the whatever you've been stuck in, towards something that is going to be fulfilling and your soul purpose here. And I feel it is something that brings you a lot of peace. I also feel like it's something you do on your own. Like, I don't feel it involves anyone else. Although I feel you get recognition here. And what I mean by anyone else, it's like you create it on your own. It is, I don't feel it requires a team to do what it is that you're supposed to do here. It's a self thing. But I do feel it helps others, and I do feel it provides guidance to others, and I do feel it provides a service to others that gets you recognition. More flowers here. And lilies are sensuality. I'm getting that a lot from the swans here. It's also experience with the owl. So I feel like you, from your past life, carry a lot of experience here. And it could be in this life too, okay? Because I said how it's influenced this life. So maybe you have an innate ability to know about different types of plants, a library of different types of foods, or the chemistry of how plants and foods mix, or the different types of trees, or parks, nature, and mix it with a creative eye. And because I do feel like there is a creative aspect in this that changes the it's not just food on a plate. It's something that is prepared in a very creative way, that I think you have this experience, this understanding to do this, that a lot of other people have not yet experienced. Okay, so it gets you recognized. And again, this mask coming through, because I feel like the longer you stay in the world that you are in, or that you've created here, I feel like the more your soul cries out for you, that you're needing to listen to that. Okay, so you might have a whisper of it, but Spirit is saying get still from that. So if you are, working 9 to 5 constantly, there might be a need to recognize how much of this is masking what you should be doing. Now, I don't ever say in my readings, quit your job and go become a hippie in the forest. Okay, but this reading is saying really take a look at the job and where you're spending your day, and that's not where you're supposed to be. And I feel like you understand this, but you haven't made the leap over to the thing that you're supposed to do, that's going to come with, you don't render me as someone who wants to be, this star on a stage, but you're getting recognition. This is a star on a stage. This is people giving you accolades, celebrating your name, remembering you for many, many generations as the person who created this or made that, who developed this. Maybe there's a park that's going to be named after you, or, a piece of history here, a certain thing that you create that's named after you, that becomes celebrated, even after your passing here, or your family gets recognized for this thing. This is all about expansion. This is all about laying the groundwork, doing everything here with this sun, getting empowered to do what it takes here, so that your ship could come in and your future is unfolding in the most expansive way here. We got the 2 swords, which is the 2 of wands, to the 3 of wands. So I feel like you are transitioning here from a state of indecision and stillness and contemplation. And if you've been stuck here, it's, that there is some hesitation because of maybe fearing what might come with making this choice. Because it's always, feels comfortable and safe to stick to what we know. Ships coming in again. This is literally, a ship coming in, travel. Like, I don't know, maybe you work on a cruise here and prepare food, because traveling and getting to see the world here, all around the world, I don't know, but there's something here for all of you guys that understand inside of you, if you sit long enough to tap into what that piece of information is. And it's going to set you free, and it's going to create something here that stands the test of time. Okay, so, and we have 3 girls here. So I don't know if this is something that you've done for previous 3 lifetimes. But I do get that it is something your inner child is trying to speak to you about, that you need to embrace and listen to. But the only way to listen is to get very still, and then to accept what this truth is, and to be empowered to walk in that truth, no matter what we got to do here. But I don't feel it's going to be so much a challenge here as you feel. And I feel like what Spirit is saying is you don't have to be 110% prepared here to do this. Okay, this is your calling. So, yeah, this is your authentic calling. This is your true self, what you're supposed to be doing. Pile 1. Wow, this is a very powerful reading. I like sitting in this energy. I'm going to go take a look at the other piles. I don't know what I'm going to see there. If it impacts you in any way, because it could be a completely different style. I was hoping to see some more about past life, but it's not really what sort of came through. It was more of like what you're bringing in from your past life here in order for you to be successful here in this lifetime. And maybe this is where you feel stuck. Okay, so that's what I have. I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my most spectacular pile. Number 2, you picked the Onyx Tower. Beautiful. I can't wait to get into your reading. These readings are going to be amazing. Coming out a little different than I thought for pile 1, but that's absolutely fine. So what I did ask Spirit exactly was, how is your past life or lifetimes influencing your now life? So anything that has you stuck now, or maybe is helping you in some way and you're not quite sure how you know, or why you know, or why you're stuck, or maybe what sort of traumas you've experienced in the past that you're carrying that might be limiting, hindering, or something that might be heavily influencing or just untapped from your past life that will help you, guide you. So what we'll see, I don't know. I didn't get too much about what the past life was for pile 1, so much as kind of more how it's impacting them, which was the question. So we're going to take a look. I do ask, though, that you use your own intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear throughout this reading to confirm that this is your message, okay? Because that's the only way to know that this is your reading, because I know this most likely won't resonate for everyone, okay? So let's take a look. We have the, the planet, the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius, a fiery energy. Sagittarius is a very brave energy. We have the bow and arrow here, which is taking aim. So it says insights to understand, the wisdom of, and resulting from the understanding of. Sagittarius coming through. And then we have new life, 39. Oh my goodness. Or the number 12. The 12th house is all about endings and closures. It's all about karma. It's about the afterlife. It's what's hidden. It's the subconscious. It's limiting beliefs. It's, old age, spirituality. This is new life. Okay. We have the thinking woman, 47. Or the number 11. So we have a lot of books here. Thinking woman. We have the elk, earth energy. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn coming through. And we have the starfish. Water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And we have looking deeper. Deep within me is a majestic radiance. All these crystals and snow mountains. Looking deeper. Thinking woman. Trust. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. Now, I'm not going to put so much weight into these afterlife cards because we're not going to take them literal. We're going to take the energy here, okay? So this is career path. Now, this could be energy sitting anywhere in your life, okay? It could be your personal life, could be your career, could be whatever, how your relationships go. This is influencing a certain part of your life here, and we're going to see what part is kind of coming through. So we do have trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career. Yellow, flexibility, adaptability, and personal power. Yellow is the solar plexus. Yellow ray. That's a yellow coming through now. We have Celtic. Wow. Celtic. Beautiful cross. And we have ships. Interesting. We got a couple of ships coming out for pile 1. If you resonated with that energy, there might be a tie. So we have ships. We have glass, 30, or the number 3. this was also giving me 3 because it was 12 reduced. And 3 is all about creating something. 3 is also about mind, body, and spirits within balance here. It's also the angels are with us. And we have an angel here. And the glass is all about seeing clearly. Glass. We have kangaroo. I don't know if I have space here for all this. Let's see. We have child eternal, light attributes, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. We were just talking about the mind, body, and spirit getting in balance. Ability to see things with fresh eyes. That's this glass. And shadow attributes, inability to grow up and be responsible, extremely dependent on others for physical security. And we have Midas and Miser, light attributes, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. Shadow attributes, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. And we have the sustainer, 24, or the number 6. The 6th house is all about health and fitness and organization and service. I'm feeling a very heavy service coming from this sustainer. And then we have the assassin, ruthlessness and conviction. And we see the 3rd eye highlighted here, the all-seeing eye. And the assassin, ruthless conviction. I'm feeling heavy Scorpio energy from here, death energy. Okay. This message is coming through quite strong, but just give me a little bit, okay? Okay. Beautiful. Pile 2. This is kind of coming through like 1 did in a way that I don't see what happened in your past life very much. Now I'm losing my throat chakra, and this happens sometimes when there's something that needs to be said here. It comes back open in a bit. Just give it a second. Beautiful. Pile 2. You have a voice that needs to be heard. And I feel like you are at the mercy of everyone and everything else going on in your life here. And you're a giver, a sustainer, providing a service, either to an employer, to your family, to your friends. And the true core of who you are has been buried, washed away in some way here, because it's hasn't been nurtured. And I'm not saying you're not nurturing yourself, but it's in there waiting for you to recognize that you yourself need to be seen, need to give to yourself the same way you give to others, and allow yourself to be felt, seen, and heard. I feel like what's coming through strong from your past life here is your roots. Okay, with this Celtic, I feel like you come from a very strong bloodline. And I also feel like there's a very, I mean, you're watching tarot cards, so I feel there's a spiritual depth, but I also feel the bloodline here and the history here is something so deep and profound that I feel like you haven't connected to yet from your past life, because of this day and age and how we're living, that it's been silenced or just not yet tapped into. So Spirit is showing here that there is a need for you to recognize where you're providing a consistent service, being there as someone that other people look to, but to go in deeper and take a look at your own sort of life as someone that is supposed to be fulfilling your own calling and your own dream, not fulfilling someone else's. So I don't know if you're either a housewife or maybe you work for a corporate company here, or maybe all of the above. But something here is silenced within you. And Spirit really is saying it's not too late for you to wake up from this sort of dream and take on this new role. And it's going to give you a lot of confidence. And you're going to need to trust in your ability to make changes in your life, to direct yourself where you're supposed to be going, because there is a feeling of repeat here in someone else's world at the expense of losing yourself in your identity. To get very clear here about your own vision, and that it is your vision and no one else's, of what you're seeing for yourself. And then remaining focused on that. No matter who's around you or what other people tell you here. Because I feel right now there's an imbalance and a disconnect from what your soul calling is here and where you're spending a lot of your time. And so I feel like your mind is wrapped up in one thing in order to kind of get by. And you're physically engaged. But I feel like there's so much more within you here. So that's why there's an imbalance, or you feel like, I don't know, like you don't really belong in what you're doing. And maybe you're just going along with it and have been doing what you've been doing for so long here. And so there is a fear of losing something here in the material world, that if you were to stop doing what you were doing, that maybe you'd miss out on something. But this is confirmation from Spirit showing for you to let it go. Because there's a heaviness here on how you... I feel like, because this is about our how we're appearing, okay? Like how we appear to others, but I feel like this is more about how you're seeing yourself. I feel like you tell yourself you're, I don't know, like a wife, so therefore that is the role you play. Or you tell yourself you're a businesswoman and therefore that is the role you play. Or you're a service provider of XYZ, because again, many viewers here, but something you're doing right now is at the expense of who you can be. And it's because there is a perception here of how you think you should look or what you think you should be. And there is no judgment here, because sometimes when we are in the matrix, we understand that we play a role. But Spirit is saying there's a need to take action here, and I feel a quick action. Okay, now obviously, when we make big life decisions, you don't want to be irrational. Okay, but I don't feel it's irrational. I feel like with this sun here highlighting this crown and this thinking woman, this is like in the mind area. I feel like there's an understanding that you have. And then there is the you that you're putting out into the world, and they're not aligned. So there's a need for you to say, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go do exactly what I've already in my mind knew to be true to me, because I feel inside my soul, my inner child here, what I came to this world with, my roots, my bloodline, is so much deeper than this service that I'm providing that is more shallow and more it just feels it's shallow, and it's like a service. And I'm not saying that your service isn't required, okay? Because we all play a role in society here in some form or fashion that serves a purpose, but it is not your purpose, pile two. Your purpose is much deeper than this. And there's a need to trust why you're feeling the way you're feeling. There's a need for you to trust in your own ability and your confidence to make the jump away from what you're investing in here, that you will sustain yourself here to keep alive whatever sort of fire is going on inside of you, because you will find and connect back to your roots and what matters here in a very deep way. And for some of you guys, it could be in spirituality. It could be a religious belief, or just a belief that ties back many, many generations here that you haven't explored, that makes you feel alive, that now makes you want to give service to something that feels purposeful rather than something that is fulfilling someone else's agenda. There needs to be a huge shift here in your world, because I feel like whatever you're doing is already tired and it has already been over. It's kind of how I feel. So this is why I don't feel fear in saying make a quick move. This ruthless and conviction. This is a conviction card. He's aiming his bow and arrow. He's taking a shot. Or she or he. Taking their shots. Conviction. Kangaroo. Quick action. Ships moving away from wherever we are in order to take action here, okay? Some of you guys might need to explore your culture. And I'm not saying that you are Celtic. I mean, some of you guys might have a Celtic background. Okay, this is more giving me a very strong family roots tradition. So there's a need to tie back to this. So I don't know if your family's from India and you haven't been, I think Spirit is saying start there, look deeper. You know, and I mean, not everyone can go and travel to their homeland, but if that's then the goal and you're doing some service, then I don't know, then make it happen here. But I feel like that is the starting point here that's going to ignite something, that's going to trigger you in some way to be ruthless, to take action. But there has to be a not caring what others might think, or you supporting some sort of illusion of who you believe to be, because there's someone much deeper and richer here. So how's your past life impacting you? I feel like your past life is something that's calling out to you in a way to remember who you are. And that in this lifetime, you're filling a role here that is disconnected from a true purpose here. And so Spirit is saying you could be reborn here in this lifetime and align yourself back to your path. Because you could still have clear vision of what this path is and still head towards this, instead of doing circles or providing some sort of service here that goes kind of endlessly in circles, to trust yourself to follow this path. And that whatever you need to see is going to be coming to you. You don't need to see all the way down what's going to happen, but I feel like you need to be able to see what's in front of you clearly. And as long as you can see what's in front of you clearly, the next thing will unfold, and the next thing will unfold, and your journey will continue. So I think this is why Spirit is showing us starting kind of looking at your roots, looking at your lineage, your family, your hometown, of maybe something you've tried to, I don't know, like you've been removed from or disconnected from, or your home country, or wherever it is here that you have a starting point so you can look deeper. But this deep within me is a majestic radiance. I do feel like deep within you is the calling, what you're kind of being pulled to do here. And so if you feel lost and stuck and like you're giving and giving to a situation here, it's because there is some sort of image you're upholding or a belief that you're thinking, and it's also coming through as a fear of risking something here in order for you to do this. But you're needing to trust this, and you're needing to be a little ruthless here, okay, and allow whatever no longer makes you happy fall away. So you could be in a very heavy contemplative mode here. Maybe you have been contemplating going to your home country, or maybe you've been contemplating, I don't know, like historical studies in some way, or devoting yourself to a spiritual practice, a religious practice, committing yourself to that. But maybe it would require you to travel, you know, I don't know, become a Buddha or become a spiritual teacher. And maybe, you know, you want to experience something here that's, like I said, might require you to go. And Spirit is saying, trust that. Trust that journey is going to open doors for you. Okay, it's going to allow you to look deeper and not to just stay in your mind, because I feel like there's something going on already within you, but I feel like it stops short, or you don't allow yourself to get any deeper than it's sitting in as an idea in your mind. So whatever this idea is, Spirit is giving you green light, saying, yes, this is your new life that you should be pursuing. You should go for it. You need to take action here rather than fearing it or hanging on to something here that is tired and old. Take that jump. Take that trip. See clearly the direction in which you want to go, and then trust that you're going in that direction. But you need the confidence, it's this flexibility, adaptability, and the personal power. But I feel like you're stationary. I feel like you live a very practical life here, and nothing wrong with being practical and stationary, but I feel like this is no longer serving you. And so whatever comes through here as a thought, it's persisting here, because Spirit wants you to take action, okay? Not just sit on something here. So let's get final words. Anything I'm missing here for pile 2, Spirits? What are they needing to know? We have the 6 of Swords in reverse. Anything pile 2 is needing to know, anything I've missed right here, right now, for the greatest and highest good of pile 2 regarding what is influencing them. Clear and concise message. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. And thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I am truly blessed. Thank you so, so much. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Empress. And 2 of Swords in the reverse. 9 of Swords. Okay. 9 of Swords. I'm going to do that like this. So these 2 came out for pile 1 in the upright. And I only did a few tarot cards. So could very well be there's a message there. What am I seeing here? A lot of anxiety. And I feel that's what's holding you back here, because I do feel there's a knowing. And maybe you're in your mind about taking a chance or taking that trip or doing that thing. Okay, that connects you back to some very deep spiritual, I feel, bloodline or cultural experience here that is very real to you, rather than something that is very superficial. And so I feel the anxiety sits here with you knowing something, but not feeling like you could take action. So it keeps you stuck. Okay, and 6 of Swords in reverse, it's like we're stuck in turbulent times here. We're stuck in sort of a mental anguish of sorts. But we have the ability to move out of this. Okay, but we have to follow our creative pursuits here. And so this Hermit is talking about looking deeper. And see how he's following his lantern here, which is the guiding light, which is following what he knows to be true, because he's had time to go in and be honest with self. But this is what is most fulfilling for him. Look at his cup overflowing. Not doing whatever it is that he's doing here. Okay, continues to do. And again, like I said, if you are a mother or a 9-to-5 or whatever you're doing, I'm sure it's a service, but Spirit is saying there's something here that's supposed to overfill your cup, but you have to come out and allow yourself to pursue this. Okay, once you have a full understanding here, but I feel like it's blocked, like you're not allowing yourself to accept this part of yourself or see this part of yourself. So I feel like there's untapped potential here with this Empress. And look, it's like a knight suit here, but the Empress is gone. It's like abundance waiting to be had here. And look at all these lilies. Talking about experience. We have all this wheat. Abundance. Empress is Taurus energy. So I feel like there's great abundance and a love of something here that's going to come to you, but you're needing to take action in this. And I feel like you've been sitting on it. Two of Swords, indecisive, not pulling the trigger, or maybe you made the decision already to not pull the trigger on something here that you were considering, contemplating. Two of Swords, look at this. This is the scene of the Two of Wands. I'm using this shuffle tarot, so it has multiple scenes mashed into one, or two tarot cards, excuse me, mashed into one with the shuffle tarot. So, for example, this here is the Hermit, but it is the Knight of Cups. Hermit's introspection. Knight of Cups is how we show love. It's also how we express ourselves. Creativity, okay? This is the Six of Wands. It's about being victorious. Or sorry, this is Six of Swords, but this is a Six of Wands scene, which is being victorious, okay? And Six of Swords is moving out of conflict. And here we have it in reverse. So it's like you can't really succeed in something if you don't try, if you don't come out of a state that you're in already. And so in order to come out of that, we have to make a decision that could be painful, because it might require us to surrender something here, okay? Give up something. This is, hoarding money and emotions, obsessing fear of losing your wealth. So not necessarily maybe money, but maybe what you've planted for yourself or built for yourself in some way here could be you feel at risk if you take this path. But this is our dharma. This is our calling, because the other one keeps us stuck. Doesn't allow us to expand, doesn't allow us to grow, doesn't allow us to experience something we're supposed to be experiencing here, which is full abundance. So I think you're removed and you're too busy in someone else's scene, someone else's world, when you could be in your world, enjoying all of this harvest and sensuality and bliss, abundance, experiencing this greatness here. But I feel like you're removed. And you're stuck dealing with anxieties and stuck in someone else's sort of prison here, I feel, or life story. But I certainly feel it doesn't belong to yours. So Spirit's saying then there's a need for you to come out, for you to understand that there's something here that is going to be more fulfilling for you. But you have to pursue this and keep pursuing it. I'm getting like I said, you don't have to see all the way. It's like this lantern here, it keeps just guiding just in front of him, just a little, just a little, just a little till he gets there. And maybe you have an idea that you have to understand the big picture here, because there's some fear here of letting go of everything and not seeing the end result. But that's where we have trust in Spirit, where we have faith in where we're being led. We only see what's in front of us enough to see the next step, but know that we're going into sunlight, know that we're going into abundance, know that we're going into a clear picture here. We're not staying in the cloudy skies. This gives me the Four of Pentacles, which is when we are stuck in complacency or our comfort zone, we risk not only the abundance that we're not attaining by following it, but we also end up losing what it was that we didn't want to lose anyway, because I feel like there's something here that's already on its way out and it can't be enjoyed in the same way. So we might as well get started in the abundance, making ourselves present for this, for ourselves. Okay, so this is what your message is here, pile 2. again, I don't know, your past life didn't come through so strong here as to what it is, but I do feel a cultural person here. And like I said, maybe someone who is very spiritual, but in line with your roots of your people. And I do feel like this is where you're kind of needing to start. And if you're not sure what this is, then it's like your soul tribe, like opening yourself up to your soul tribe to explore this further. Your spirituality, or like I said, if it's something in regards to a religious belief, or maybe, I don't know, your church friends, or someone you know in the spiritual community, or maybe, you know, like, I don't know, I'm getting strong family from this, okay? So only you know what this sort of thing is, but what's hindered here is, I think, your future. What's hindered here is, I think, your present moment. What's hindered here is, I think, your needing to understand that there's something a lot deeper to you rather than what your kind of role you're playing here. And it's never too late with this new life. Never too late. Okay, don't throw away your abundance here to fulfill someone else's dream or idea of what you're supposed to be doing. And don't flounder away your time just creating service here for others that is not progressing you spiritually, culturally, providing depth to you, giving you knowledge, making you feel free to explore, to travel, to be open, feeding your inner child, feeling the confidence here and not the mundane. Okay? This is what I have here, pile 2. I hope this helped you. I love you very much, and I will see you at the next one. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 3. You picked the red jasper pyramid. Beautiful stone. I cannot wait to get into your reading. These readings have been beautiful. I understand this might not be for everyone here. And what I asked Spirit was, how is your past life or your past lives, your experiences, hindering or influencing you in this now life? So it could be something that has you stuck in some aspect of your life that you're not sure why you are the way you are or what's happening, or it could be something that is helping you. It's like a silence influencer here, and you're not quite sure why you know what you know. It could be just untapped potential here that you've experienced, or some wisdom from your past life that you haven't yet been pulling on in this life. But it could be multiple aspects of your life here that are either stuck or progressing in a way that might need more attention, or just bringing to your awareness. So I don't know what we're going to see, you know. We didn't see a whole lot of what the past life is in pile 1 or 2, so I don't suspect we're going to see what your past life was. Maybe not. More so, again, in this life, and what sort of is the advice, or what's traumas you might have had here that might be significantly impacting you. So what you're needing to know right here, right now, please use your intuition. What you will see, feel, and hear throughout this reading to confirm this is your message, because there is no way for me to tell that this is your message. So you will definitely have to use your intuition, okay? So let's take a look. Signs, what do we have? We have in Leo, self-confidence to create, taking a chance on and resulting from the impressiveness of. Beautiful. Leo energy, fire energy. We have round and round, 25, or the number 7. 7 is the chariot. That's about working with the universe to move forward and to find balance and to integrate shadows so that we're able and capable of being successful as we move forward. This round and round is kind of the opposite. It's like staying in cycles, reliving cycles, repeating patterns. Okay. We have the door to value, 31, or the number 4, and we have all of this cash kind of coming through the door, and we have a key, abundance, door to value, 31, or the number 4. 4 is all about stability. And we have all tied up, 23, or the number 5. That is challenge, conflict, change. All tied up could mean feeling stuck in cycle. We have a butterfly here, all about transformation. We have the tarantula. Tarantula, I believe this is fire. Aries, Leo, Sag. So Leo coming through again. Although I'm getting Earth as well. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But mostly I'm getting heavy Leo energy coming through. And we have the dragon. Wow, look at that. Very powerful. Dragon. Okay. Renewing your life. And this person's throwing this box that says clutter out. Radiant vitality is filling my life. Now I do want to say I have some past life cards here. So we're not taking the and life purpose cards. We're not going to be taking the literal words unless of course you want to. It's more the energy that I'm going to be pulling from the picture of all these cards. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. We have rising above. I only see beauty and grace. Wow. And she's coming out of a lily or a lotus flower. We have healer. You have these spiritual gifts of healing and a desire to share it with others. Wow, 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 wow. You guys might be my light worker pile here. We have purple, third eye, clairvoyance. Yes, look at this. Okay, I'm going to do this. Purple, third eye, clairvoyance. We have mirror, truth revealed. Oh my goodness, and another lotus flower here. And her third eye is highlighted. So this is third eye, and then of course the dragon's giving me third eye with the big eye here. We have unrequited love. Oh, wow. Powerful. And we have orphan. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's a lonely energy coming through if I ever felt. We have Pluto, Scorpio energy, number 10. 10 is all about ending so we can prepare for new beginnings. And we see spider web, which is all about creativity. Pluto, the underworld. This is all about karmas, what's hidden, shadows. We have the shadow person. As I say, shadows. Okay, shadow person. Interesting. Okay. We have priest. Light attributes. Facilitates spiritual commitments. Serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Shadow attributes. Violates the trust of your spiritual community. Seduced by your own spiritual role. And we have mediator. Light attributes. Gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. Shadow attributes. Negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. We have the mentor. Oh my goodness, you guys. Number 6. 6 is all about balance. 6 is about giving as well, okay? Because the 6 of Pentacles is what sort of service we provide here. And 6 could be the lovers, which is having a choice here to choose or destined path. And then we have the runaway, secrets, running from problems. And we have a cage that's open. Holy crap balls. Let me just tap into this energy here. Okay. And then see what I can communicate here. I'm going to ask Spirit to remove any of my biases here, because I am certainly tapped into this pile as is resonating very profoundly to me as well. Okay, so I don't know, could certainly be a message here for me, and maybe I'm the only viewer here. I don't think so, but this is a very strong message. My goodness. Okay. Pile 3. I feel like it's been quite the journey here with Pluto and all tied up. Unrequited love in this orphan. I feel like you've experienced suffering here in this life. Okay, and this is about how the past life and traumas and experiences might be impacting you. So this could be a cumulative energy that might have spilled over into this life, because I feel as though if you haven't experienced a loss of your parents, or if you haven't experienced maybe the death of a spouse, or even just coming into contact with someone so significant that touches our soul, it's usually in the form of either a twin flame or someone who just is the catalyst to our spiritual growth with this mirror that made you see some truth. Okay, and with this unrequited love, as we know with twin flames, sometimes we have a journey here of having to find ourselves because we feel abandoned. And you guys might have experienced abandonment wounds, abandoned by people you love, a loss of people you love, people who loved you, who have passed away, or just for whatever reason here, the pain is very strong, okay? And so in your past life, you might have been an orphan, and you might have experienced deep, deep sadness here in regards to the support from people you love. So I do feel there is an energy here of feeling alone or having experienced trauma. And as we know, everyone has psychic abilities, okay? But whether we're aware of our ability and whether we're open to seeing, to spirits, and to open to these things is another thing, because we could be very unconscious. We could be unaware. But trauma, as we know, generally makes the best healers, makes the best psychics and spiritual teachers because of their pain and their suffering. So the pain and the suffering, I feel, is a thing here that's happened, okay? And I feel like what Spirit is showing here is that you might have felt or still feel potentially like you're not quite sure what direction you're supposed to be going, or you might feel very stuck. You might feel like you're repeating the same thing. Your days might be repetitive. You might be stuck in cyclical actions here that make you question what the heck. And there is a purpose here, okay? And it's not saying Spirit wants to torture you or keep you tied up or repeat things here just for the sake of it, for suffering. But there's experiences here that come with our lessons, and sometimes we have to repeat lessons many times until we understand the full depth of that lesson. And then we conclude something in our life, and we then clear up that misconception that we have, or that hindrance that we have, or that thing that was holding us back, or that belief, or that understanding, or that conditioning that no longer serves us. That person, that experience, that whatever, we detach. We let it go. Because I feel like what you're doing here is a lot of soul work here. A lot of ego work. Shedding parts of yourself that aren't you or don't do you any good. Or integrating parts of yourself that you can't detach from, and accepting who you are. And who you are, beautiful pile 3, is a healer, is a psychic, is a mediator, a mentor, someone looks up to for spiritual advice, connecting them with spirits, healing them of whatever ailments, because healers come in so many different forms. Doctors, spiritual teachers, tarot card readers, Reiki teachers, pastors, priests, Whatever your thing here is, you're a spiritual teacher. You're a healer of people. You're helping to provide people with a level of service here so that they can become connected to spirit, to God, to whatever it is here that you're helping them through because of your experience. Your understanding, what you've gone through here, has allowed you to soar, has allowed you to ascend, has allowed you to be this role model here to guide people through very chaotic times in their life because you understand what it's like to go through this. You've had to go to the depths, I feel, of hell here in experiencing pain so that you could understand and create something. And what you're creating here is a community that is going to pay it forward to you in so much abundance. Now, this could be in monetary form, but I feel like for everybody here, it's whatever you need to survive in this world, to keep going. The key here, it opens the door to that. Okay, so if you're needing whatever you need in your life, it's going to be gifted to you or as a result of you providing service here. And as we know, when we provide service and healing, we clear our own karmas. So, secrets running away from problems. I feel like if you are feeling stuck, if you're not looking within yourself, I feel like most of you guys are doing this, but we're all on a different scale here, okay? Some of us are round and round, and some of us are still tied up in knots, and some of us need to part from people and things and places that are not helping us to ascend, to come out of whatever crap ass situations we've experienced here and come out like this beautiful ray of sun. We all have shadows. We all need to integrate shadows, but we need to be aware. We don't suppress, we become honest. Or else we repeat cycles and not know. If we're in our subconscious, and we might not be doing this on purpose, because I feel like you want to ascend, you want to recognize truths, but sometimes we're so blind to our own shadows and blind to our own cycles, and so we don't see where we're held back. We don't see, it isn't external, it is all internal, because once we see it, we're free. We can now rid ourselves of anything here and open this cage door, okay? With this key, we open ourselves up to freedom. We're no longer stuck in painful situations here. So, the Leo, all about getting empowered. This is all about confidence. This is taking the chance. And this is also a very big heart. Leo has a very, very big heart here, okay? I feel like you have an ability here with this third eye clairvoyance. I feel like this is my light workers, my healers, obviously, but psychic ability. So maybe you're clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, all the clairs here. Something's coming through, and if you haven't experienced it yet, you are going to be experiencing this in full force. And this is as a result of an experience you had here that might have left you broken, feeling alone. And sometimes we have to hit the rock bottom to tap into this, which is painful here, but there would have never been an experience here of tapping into this had we not experienced the pain and the suffering, had we not had a chance to explore the underworld here to create something out of this. Had we not had the addiction or the problem, we would have not have been able to understand the complexity to communicate to another, to guide them out of their own chaos, out of their own darkness, to lead the way. Our sisters or brothers, to not abandon them, because we know what it feels like to be abandoned, to love them unconditionally, to know what it feels like to have our backs turned, or someone have their backs turned on us, to feel alone, to see who we are, and to recognize our gift. I think you're going to see your own ability very clearly here. And until you see it, you feel like there's a lack of understanding, or you're not quite there yet. So we're not seeing the abundance. The door hasn't quite opened yet. We still feel like we're trapped or stuck. But you're on this path here, because I really feel like you're going to see this. And with this mirror, it is either another person or the situation that you're experiencing provides a mirror to you so that you can see your ability, your strength, your talent. And the only way to get through is to break a cycle and not repeat, and be consciously aware and awakened and take proactive actions in your life to let go of what doesn't serve, detach from what doesn't serve, so you're free. There's a heavy creative energy coming through as well with the spider web and this tarantula. You're creating something here that has ripples effect here in humanity, okay? Let's take a look at this book. There's dragon and tarantula. I feel like I do want to take a look. Okay, look at that. Tarantula and dragon. Well, I know the dragon's going to be back here somewhere. Dragon. Okay, so seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. What did I say? Seeing ourselves, balancing the ego, doing the shadow work, seeing our shadows, seeing our ego. This is being very present to catch these, because the ego slips in there when we're very spiritual. We think we're healed. We think we've shed our ego. We think we've done the dark night of the soul and that we don't have any more shadow. And there are so many daily catalysts that we're not even aware of. And this is why it's very important to be very present, because the smallest little thing that we do could be in our subconscious action that we're not aware of. That's still ego. Okay, so I love this. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath, and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our internal world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. And can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon, breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride. And as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their Agni is dim. Agni is described as an inner fire or sacred intelligence. May even just the mention of the dragon stir the embers of the intelligence within you. Intelligence. Like, look at how much synchronistic cards are coming out here in this message for you guys. It's absolutely beautiful. Tarantula. Tarantula. There it is. Alrighty. Where are you? I thought I saw you over here. Here. Okay. At a crossroads, claiming life's purpose. Oh my goodness. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or your dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream. Yet a voice inside you keeps begging you to refocus your attention in order to find true happiness. You must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul, and it already knows you'll choose wisely. Follow your intuition. When out of balance, hesitates, and it over intellectualizes. Okay, pile 3. Some of you are here, like I said. Okay, and this is where we keep making decisions, maybe where we're repeating things, and we have to be very awakened to ourselves and what we're choosing. And this goes for me as well. And sometimes, you know, we don't see your own shadow. And so if we are stuck on something, feeling stuck, like we have no choice, or like there's something here out of our control, it's a figment of ego making us feel this way, because we always are free. We always are free. So there's running from problems. I think there's a little bit of in denial going on here with the round and round for some of you guys who are experiencing something here. And you might be on the verge of having to make a decision here with the number 6, which I said is the Lovers, and it's having to choose our path, our dharma. Choose the person we love, the path we love, the career we love, making a choice. And so I feel like this message here is one of understanding that we are human, and that no matter how spiritual we are, we might fall into traps, and to always be present in our understanding of how we play a role in that. Okay, so we have to always turn back to ourselves. How are we playing a role in this? How is our past experiences coming out in this moment? But know that there is a message here of you making the right choice here, and it liberating you, and then you being this guide, this mentor, this conduit between spirit and person, between this person and them getting healthy, this person and whatever it is that you've experienced or that you can speak of, whatever you're channeling, you're a conduit. Okay, so let's get some more here. Specifically, I want to see with this crossroads, this round and round, if you're feeling stuck here, Spirit, what does pile 3 need to know in regards to maybe the challenge that they're having? More information for pile 3. What is this message about? Thank you so much, Spirit. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Thank you so much. What do they need to know about this decision, how they're stuck, this message? Further clarity, Spirits. What did I miss? Thank you so much. Okay, I dropped some. We have Queen of Swords. Wow, wow, wow. 9 of Cups. Wow, wow, wow. Keep going. I'm going to pull 2 more. No, I'm going to pull 3 on top and 3 at the bottom. Thank you, Spirits. We have 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Why is this Queen of Swords here, Spirit? We have the 3 of Cups in reverse. I gotta look under my desk here because I do feel maybe a card went flying. Hold on. No, nothing went flying. I got them all. Okay. 3 of Cups in reverse. And Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay, why is this 7 of Pentacles here? We have the Fool in reverse. And bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Holy camole. Okay, I'm using the Shuffle Tarot. I don't know why I felt obligated to show you. It's like I'm so proud. I got the Shuffle Tarot. I love the Shuffle Tarot. And those who've been here for a while always see me pull this out when I use it, because the Shuffle Tarot is 2 tarot cards kind of mashed into one, so it tells a story. So for example, here we have Queen of Swords, but it's also the Justice. Okay, the Nine of Cups. I don't know what scene this is. This looks like the Empress. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, and this is the scene from the Seven of Swords. And then we have the Magician sitting on the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Three of Cups looking like the Three of Swords. And we have the Knight of Wands with the Magician. And we have the Fool with the Hierophant. Okay, so I don't know why I had to explain it that way, but let's get into this layered message. So, pile 3, Queen of Swords, wisdom, knowledge, seeing clear, speaking a truth, and finding justice. So I feel like sometimes it's a challenge finding balance here and standing behind a truth here. So I feel like if you feel things are imbalanced in your life, or you're having a hard time finding a sense of balance here, Spirit is wanting you to lean in on what you know to be true. Because sometimes we can let our emotions guide us, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with opening our heart space. But empaths and people who've experienced suffering might be led by our hearts, and sometimes it could lead us straight into more heartbreak and heartache and suffering. And we could continue suffering from a million paper cuts here by repeating, maintaining in situations that are imbalanced and not aligned to our highest truth. So only we can understand where we have a hole in the bucket of our own kindness, of our hearts here, okay? And where we choose to fill the cups up. Because I feel like when you're a healer and a giver and you have a big heart, sometimes there are energy vampires, okay? And situations here that might be taking, and it might be at our expense. And so, for some of us, I feel like there is a glutton for pain. Some of us might suffer from addictions. Some of us might be leaning into something here that's causing us pain. And then feeling bad. Thinking that this is where we're going to find our satisfaction or our balance, which keeps us held back from manifesting and pursuing what we're supposed to be doing. And I say supposed to, there's no real supposed to, because you do have a choice, but I feel like there is a dharma. There's something you're supposed to be manifesting, something you're fated to be involved with here in order to get things on track. Back to balance, finding justice for yourself. You have to manifest and you have to take action. But when we're stuck in circles, engaged in things here, it doesn't allow for us to move forward. It doesn't allow for us to manifest. And so we're the biggest problem in our own life here, okay? Even though our intentions might be good, even though we might be the ones hurting and suffering, that doesn't mean that we're not the ones that are the problem. And Seven of Pentacles, although Seven of Swords seen, in the reverse, this is identifying where we ourselves are doing something to ourselves that isn't for our greatest good, and identifying this and being honest with ourselves and looking at this and saying, is this how I want to invest my energy, my time, my effort, my dedication, my commitment here? Or am I dedicating myself to something here and not benefiting and losing value? Am I devaluing myself? Giving to everyone else, or filling everyone else's cup, or at my own expense? Should I be focused on something else and manifesting something else, and that's what's going to give me what I need here? But I need to be honest about this, because there's a reason why I'm doing this, and I might be sabotaging myself in some way here, playing a martyr role. and not want to see what it is that I am dropping here of value, or that I might be wasting my energy on something here that I already know is imbalanced, that might be not good for me, but I get some sort of, I don't know, like Nine of Cups is emotional fulfillment, but this is the least emotionally fulfilled I've seen. This is almost like somebody who does not want to be there. So, the Fool. I'm unable to jump into this new beginning, to explore what is out there for me until I can clear out the clutter, until I can break free from cycles, until I can acknowledge where I might be focused on something that might not be for my greatest good. Then can I break free and focus on what I can commit myself to here, what my soul purpose, my life purpose, what I value for myself with this Hierophant. Because I value something here. Again, this higher learning, this spirituality. Can I commit myself to spirituality? Can I take this jump? Enlightenment, seeing the light, taking the jump, or am I stuck? And until I can sort through all this, again, addiction, whatever the thing is here that has us stuck, the shadow of ourselves, the thing we're not being honest about, the thing we're giving to endlessly at our own expense, as we kind of bleed to death here, a little exaggerated, but this is what it's coming as. It's all part of our experience, because once we see this, we have to see this shadow. Only we can see the shadow and shed the light. We have to be present. We have to want to see it, and then we can't ignore it. It's going to set us free. It's going to allow us then to jump and say, hey, people, community, person that I'm helping, person that I'm open to healing and providing my insight, I've been there. I've been an addict. I've been hurt. I've been in relationships where I've been hurt. I've given to things that didn't lead anywhere except for pain. I was giving parts of myself here that for many years that didn't result in something, and now I know what the signs are, and I know how to get it better. I know how to see it. I know how to work with it. So I'm here for you. That is your calling. That is your purpose. Page of Swords in reverse. But until you understand it, you cannot be this owl soaring above the fire and the flame. Until you explore the underworld, until you explore the pain and live through it and find a way to get out of it, then you're unable to understand it, so that you cannot provide what you're supposed to be providing here. And I mean, you're not necessarily a martyr of, you had to experience all of this pain so that, you know, people can be free. But I feel like there is ascension and soul growth when we align ourselves closer to our soul purpose. And the only way to do this is to provide contrast in our life and allow ourselves to lean into our abilities here that might be dormant, but we might not see. And the only way to see it is to experience something very real that gives us the understanding and the knowledge we need in order to become the most powerful healer, the most experienced mediator, the person who can understand and help. So I'm going to pull whatever Spirit wants to communicate here for you guys. Pile number 4, final message from Spirit. Anything that Pile 4 is needing to know that's going to help them. Beautiful message, Spirit. Clear and concise message for Pile 4. Thank you so much, Spirits. We are so blessed. Final message. Anything Pile 4 is needing to know that is going to help them. I dropped a card. Give me a second. We have the 9 of Wands. And that is the scene of the 9 of Pentacles. Door to value. That's giving me 9 of Pentacles energy as well. What are they needing to know, Pile 4, Spirits? And that 3 of Cups coming out again in reverse. Judgment with the Devil. Capricorn energy. We have the 4 of Wands in the 4 of Cups scene. That's giving me unrequited love energy. 3 of Swords coming out right under the Three of Cups in the same scene as the Three of Pentacles. And then finally, why is Judgment here, Spirit? Justice with the Strength, the Maiden from the Strength card and the Lion. Nine of Cups coming out yet again for a second time, and under that again, Seven of Pentacles, which you saw me shuffle in the reverse. This is acknowledging where we might be self-defeating. This is also us not putting in the energy and the effort towards something that isn't paying it forward. Okay, so Nine of Cups, emotional satisfaction. Although, like I said, this is giving me heavy addiction, hedonistic, focused on things here that might be causing us pain that we're not being honest about. Okay, so what Spirit is showing here is this is the spiritual wounded warrior with the Nine of Wands, who's gone through all of the suffering that I mentioned. And the suffering lays the foundation here, okay? But I feel like we're amidst making something of ourselves here. So we've experienced whatever this is, and we don't know what it's for. It's like if we experience pain, we're kind of left with a question mark, like why? Why, spirits, do I experience this suffering or whatever it was that I'm experiencing here without there being a purpose? And Spirit's saying, trust that there is a purpose. You haven't built it yet. This fence hasn't even been built yet. And so we're looking at our suffering. We're sitting with our suffering. We might be feeling bad about our suffering. And we're kind of not quite sure here with this Nine of Wands, okay? But this, like I said, is the Nine of Pentacles, which is saying, hey, you're going to be creating something solid here because of your experience that's going to allow you to be successful, stand on your own, be very independent where you won't need anyone or anything to be successful, to bring in what you need, to get what you want. Because I was getting that very strong. You're going to get what you want when you need it. Abundance, wealth, whatever you need comes to you with the Nine of Pentacles, okay? But we're transitioning. We haven't built it. We understand there's something spiritual here, but look at his hand is bleeding. And it's like he's doing it to himself because like look at the glove. He could wear the glove and protect himself. We can be honest. We're not wanting to see. Look at this. He's running away. He's not wanting to see. I'm going to pretend, okay? Same with this. It's like, I know it doesn't feel good, but I'm going to finish it all. Well, are we a glutton for pain here? So, unrequited love feeling here with Four of Cups. This is the boredom card. This is despondent, but this is Four of Wands. And Four of Wands is all about a rite of passage. A Four of Wands is union, is coming together, is family, home, roots, marriage, stability. Okay, so Four of Wands is also my twin flame card because it's the 11-11, very spiritual. One wand, following our passions. And then we have Three Wands, which is all about expansion. And here we're sitting not knowing. So I feel like the same energy, and this is in my more passing energy. And like I said, I don't know where you sit in the spectrum here. Someone looking at what wasn't working, sitting there, someone sitting there in pain, someone sitting there repeating something, feeling like they're at the mercy of, like they have no control, like they're stuck. But Spirit is saying this person isn't stuck. They could take this wand and expand. But rather they're sitting here looking at experiencing the same thing here. So death by a million paper cuts again, because this heart keeps bleeding and there's a way to stop this pain. Okay, are we giving to a situation here where we don't have to? Are we experiencing something here that's causing us more pain than good? So there's a need to acknowledge this, and I feel there is suffering. Okay, because both of these are Three of Swords, the scene and the Three of Swords, but we might be wanting to do this in order to find peace, or in order to do this out of a kindness of our heart, because Three of Cups is friendship, coming together. But we feel alone. This is the loneliest Three of Pentacles. This is feeling, again, unrequited love and orphan, feeling alone, isolated, not creating, not building. And with the Three of Pentacles, it's the type of energy where we create with another to build something we couldn't on our own. So we feel like we cannot manifest. And we're looking at the pain. And in the meantime, what we're supposed to be creating isn't being created, because maybe we're very fixated on that structure, that person, that idea, that thing that's supposed to be collaborating, that we're supposed to be working on, instead of maybe accepting or seeing that we can't invest in a place where we are solo. We can't invest in a place that keeps creating pain here, because our true purpose is to create with people who want to create with us, with our soul tribe, 4 of Wands, soul tribe, coming together. But we're staring at something that we know is the truth. We can see it. We're not picking it up, meaning we're not walking in truth or talking our truth. So we sit here, okay? And so there's a need, and this is more in a future position here, for you to embrace some sort of truth with the judgments. This is karma as well, and we saw a Wheel of Fortune. So there's some truth here. There's an awakening to a realization here, and it's really looking at, where are we, devil? Where are we held back? Where are we our own worst enemy? Where are we thinking that we see, cages and bindings and unhealthy things here as something we need to suffer or experience, when judgment's all about us being empowered? Finally seeing through the devil and saying, I have the power to do something here. And until we find that courage, we might not get that justice right away. So we might continue in suffering. Okay, but we need to embrace that sort of truth. We need to face our fears. And again, this is the inside ourselves, shadow work. It's not external. It's looking within ourselves, knowing when to hold back, when to move forward. Face those fears that we might not want to be honest about or see, because I feel there is imbalance. You're experiencing some imbalance here, okay? And for all of you guys, like I said, it could be something in your life you're maybe engaged with or involved with here that's causing you pain, that's requiring you to go through this. It's not bad, it's just making you feel stuck, but you're not. But you repeat this until you see it. You repeat this until you can call out the devil and pick up that sword of truth. Look at that pain and pick up that truthful sword so that you can take action here. Otherwise, you will experience injustice here, and you will keep being this person who is experiencing pain on themselves. He's making himself drink the poison, or this person is making themselves stand there and feel the pain of the bird without the protective glove. So I feel like there's self-inflicting pains here, okay? Queen of Squirrels. This gives me Queen of Pentacles energy. This is the special card in this deck. This is like what's it all for, okay? This is like us paying tribute or homage to an experience here, and then we're seeing it now as kind of the observer of someone who's experienced something here and who accepts it and embraces it. We don't see it as, why did I do this, or why did this happen to me, and I'd rather it didn't. It's more of, I see that this happened to me for a very good reason. I can now see, and I can now embrace this as a blessing in my life, and be thankful it's happened, so that I'm able to now do what it is that I'm supposed to do, which is be this ray of light, this healer, this mediator, this mentor, this guiding light, this spiritual teacher, this spiritual psychic healer that's providing a service to the world, to other people who are experiencing similar things here, so they can find their authentic self, so we can contribute to this new earth. But the only way we can do that is to be in tune with it ourselves. Okay, so this is what I have for you guys. Pile 3, past life. I mean, I feel the suffering is this lifetime and past lifetime, and it might go so deep that you don't even know who you've lost and what you've experienced here. Okay, you could have been, like I said, an orphan in your past life, and so it's manifesting as this because there's a lot of deep-rooted pain here that might be surpassing what you've experienced in this lifetime, and you're not sure why the pain is so deep. The pain is deep because you're carrying this inside you, because you have experienced it. Your soul's experienced this unrequited love, feeling alone, feeling abandoned. So you might have an attachment style here, okay, where you feel abandoned by people. And so it's because of past experiences and lifetimes here that you're needing to really look at your own action, why you do what you do here, and then acknowledge it. Don't suppress it. Don't try to change and avoid it. Just acknowledge it, welcome it. If it's something you don't want to be, you don't have to be. If it's something that you cannot not change, just welcome it as part of yourself, but integrate that and be aware of your repeating cycles here, okay? Or else you get stuck and then you feel frustrated. So you have a big purpose you're supposed to do here. I think you know this, all right? Now I'm gone. Pile 3. I love you so, so much. Beautiful reading. Bless you. I will see you soon. Bye.